Welcome to my channel once again. Today I'll be talking about an aspect of hedging of foreign exchange risk management, which is forward contracts. Forward contracts. Talking about forward contracts. Forward contracts is a binding agreement between two parties to buy or sell an asset at a specified future date for a price agreed upon today. So it is one of the simplest forms of derivatives, and it is used to hedge against future changes or fluctuations in prices, exchange rates, or interest rates. So there are certain key features about forward contracts, and forward contracts is a customized agreement. That is, the terms such as quantity, delivery date, and price are negotiated between the buyer and the seller. And also, the future settlement, delivery, and payment occur at a future date, not immediately. So also, in terms of the obligation, since it's a contract, the obligation it's legally binding between both parties. That is, the buyer must buy and the seller must sell at the agreed price. So regardless of the changes of the market condition on the settlement date, the price agreed upon at the day in which the transaction is entered into must be uh, fulfilled. And more so, there is no initial cash flow. Usually, no money changes hands when a contract is initiated. So, these are agreements to deliver foreign exchange at a future date at an exchange rate agreed upon today, and that is forward contract. It is a binding agreement to sell or buy an agreed amount of currency at a specified future date at an agreed exchange rate. So this contract always takes place on a date after the date that the spot contract settles and are used to protect the buyer from exchange rate fluctuations. So the specified exchange rate is called the forward rate, and the designated date at which the parties must transact is called the settlement date or delivery date. So there are various steps you must note in trying to solve questions on forward contracts. Number one, you must determine the exposure value. That is the value you are expected to receive or pay is the exposure value. And this represents the value of the contract. So once you identify that, you must identify the contract period. Is it 1 month forward contract, 2 month forward contract, 3 month forward contract, and so on and so forth. And you must be able to determine the forward rate. Yes, some rates can be given either in premium or discount. You must be able to determine that. And once you determine that, you calculate the guarantee payment by dividing the exposure value by the forward rate. Then you get the guarantee payment. Let's look at this example that X is due to pay $200,000 in 1 month's time. The spot rate is quoted dollar to pounds, which shows that $1 is equal to 1.4820. That is, £1 is equal to $1.4820, and £1 is equal to $1.4905. So depending on either the bank is buying or selling, this is a lower rate and this is a higher rate. If the bank is to buy, will buy at a lower rate. If the bank is to sell, they will sell at a higher rate. So the point is this: the 1 month forward will now be what? If this contract is to be settled in the next 1 month, this will be the settlement rate. If I'm to buy, the bank is to buy, will buy at a lower rate. If they are to sell, they sell at a higher rate. So if X contract 1 month forward, how much will he have to pay? in 1 month time in pounds. In pounds. So you must understand the quote. The quote. The forward rate is what? For 1 month. The forward rate for 1 month is what? You must understand the quote. Let's present this. Let's say solution. The first step is for you to understand the quote. The forward rate as given in the question. Forward rate as given in the question is what? Is this. This is the forward rate given in the question. 1 month forward rate. That is the contract period is 1 month. The 1 month forward rate. And what does this connote? This means that what? At 1.4910, that is expressed in this form, 1.4910, this will be the bid price. That is the bank buys pounds. The bank buys pounds and gives what? And gives dollar. That is interpretation. And it can also be in this form. That is when the bank is selling 1.4970. That is, we have it as this equal to, this is the ax rate now, and it will be equal to what? We can say this can be interpreted as the bank sells pounds. The bank sells pounds and what? And receive dollar. And receive dollar. Is interpretation. So if you are the customer, that is company X now. Let's say you are the customer, company X. The rate you get depends on whether you are buying or selling pounds. So the question is this. The question is this. What is X doing? What is X doing? What is X doing? Let's go back to the question. That X is due to pay $200,000 in 1 month. So what will happen? So X needs to buy dollars. X need to buy what? Dollars. And pay with pounds. And pay with pounds. So the interpretation is this. The interpretation is this. That means X we sell pounds. We sell pounds to the bank to buy dollars. To buy dollars. So the question now will be, which rates are you going to apply? So when the customer sells pounds and buys dollars, the bank is buying pounds from the customer. So at what rate will that be now? So the appropriate rate will be the bid rate, the bid rate, the bid rate. So for you to determine this, let's say the appropriate rate, appropriate rate is the bid rate, the bid rate, the bid rate. And that will be what? The bid rate will be what? The lower value. That is 1.4910 is the bid rate, is the bid rate in relation to this quotation, in relation to this quotation. So how do you now determine the amount X will pay in pounds? In pounds. So the calculation will be in this form, will be in this form. That is 200,000 divided by what? Divided by 1.4910. And when you solve this, the value in pounds will be what? The value in pounds will be what? Will be 134,138. 134,138. So using 1.4910, X will need to pay 134,138 pounds. So this is the amount X will pay in 1 month under the forward contract. Under the forward contract. So X is due to pay $200,000 in 1 month. So the equivalent of this, based on 1 month forward contract, when you hedge against that, in terms of pounds, it will be what? It will be 134,138 pounds. Looking at this example, in this case, is a case of receipt. It's a case of receipt. Y is due to receive $150,000 in 3 months' time. Spot is what? It's quoted. The spot rate is dollar to pounds 1.5326, 1.5385. Now, this is quoted at premium, 3 month forward at premium 0.62, 0.51 cents in premium. Cents in premium. So how much will Y receive? How much will Y receive? So when you see this form of quotation here, it shows that this is these are expressions that you need to put in form of point quotation. Point quotation. So to solve this, let's see how this will look like. Solution. So the spot value is what? Spot rate. Spot rate, according to the question, we have it as this. Spot rates, the bid and the offer, 1.5326, and also we have 1.5385, and the 3 months forward rates, premium, and premium, depending on whether it is directly quoted or indirectly quoted, you add and subtract. So in this case, we do what? We subtract. We subtract this value in premium. In premium, we subtract this value in premium. So in 3 month forward rate, we have it as what? 0.0062, and also 0.0051. The 3 month forward rate will be what? Will now be what? The forward rate. The forward rate will now be, when you less, you're going to have 1.5264. And for this, it will be 1.5334. So the question now is this. The question now is this. In any foreign exchange transaction, the side of the quotes you use depends on who is buying or selling and which currency is the base versus the quote currency. So based on this question, you can see clearly that the dollar slash euro shows that what $1 is equivalent to what 1.5326, or £1 is equivalent to what $1.5326, and also £1 is equivalent to what $1.5385. So it means that when the bank buys dollars, the bank will buy, when the bank buys pounds, they will buy at what? At a lower rate of $1.5326. And when the bank is selling pounds, they will sell at what? $1.5385. So what is Y doing in this case? Y is expected to receive $150,000, meaning Y will sell US dollar and buy what? And buy pounds in 3 months. So Y goes to the bank to sell USD, and then what will happen? They tend to get what? They tend to get pounds in return. So for you to get pounds, when you sell your USD, the bank will buy at what rate? The 3-month forward rate is what? In 3-month forward rate is this, because the bank will have to sell to you to give you pounds. And when the bank is giving you pounds, they will give it to you at a higher rate. So because you are giving them what? Dollars. So it will now be in this form: 150,000 divided by what? 1.5334. And the results will be what? The results will be 91,822. Will be 91,822. Let me confirm that. The result will be 91,822. That is 150 divided by 1.5334. That is 97,822 approximately. 97,822 approximately. And this will be the value in pounds. In pounds. This will be the value in pounds. Now let's take this further. Let's look at another scenario whereby we have this as Z is due to pay $200,000 in 2 months' time. The spot rate is quoted as dollar to pounds 1.6550 plus or minus 0.0018. The 2-month forward rate is quoted dollar to pounds 1.6623 plus or minus 0.0020. Now, what is the interpretation of this? There is nothing to get scared of here. It shows that the lower rate is what? 1.665. The spot rate is 1.665. So the lower rate at spot rate, that is solution at spot rate. At spot rates, the lower rate is what? Will be equal to what? 1.6550 minus 0.0018. And this should give us what? It should give us 1.6532. Now, at spot rate, the higher rate, or this is the bid, and the at spot rates, the higher rate is the ask to be what? To be equal to 1.6550 plus what? 0.0018, and you're going to have it as what? 1.6568. So for forward rates, the next 2 months, what will be the bid value? Forward rates. Forward rates. Bid value will be what? Will be equal to what? We have it as 1.6623 less what? Less 0.0020. We're going to have it as what? 1.6603, and then this is the bid. And for the forward rates, the ask price will be what? 1.6623 plus what? Plus 0.0020, and the result will be what? To be 1.6643. So the question is this: Z is due to pay 200,000. Z is due to pay 200,000 in 2 months' time. So if you are due to pay 200,000 in 2 months' time, based on the expression, you need to buy dollars. Yes. Z need to buy what? Need to get dollars. And for Z to get dollars, Z will need to get dollar at what rate? At what rate? At a lower rate. Z will need to get dollar at a lower rate, because you need to buy dollar at a lower rate, because when you buy dollar at a lower rate, it will give you the value you need in terms of pounds. In terms of pounds. So buying dollar at a lower rate will show that the expression will be in this form. How much will you need to pay to get these dollars? So it means pay $200,000 in relation to 1.6603, and you're going to have what? Because the bank will buy at a lower rate. The bank will buy at a lower rate. So 200,000 divided by 1.6603, you're going to have 120,460 in terms of pounds. In terms of pounds. So how much will Z pay? In terms of pounds, Z will pay 120,460 in terms of pounds. So because the bank will buy at a lower rate and sell at a higher rate. So taking this further, I have this question that the current spot rate for US dollars against UK sterling is 1.4525 cents. to 1.4535 equal to $1, and the 1 month forward rate is quoted as 1.4550 to 1.565 to £1. A UK exporter expects to receive $400,000 in 1 month. If a forward exchange contract is used, how much will be received in sterling? You can attempt this and just drop what your answer and the point on the YouTube channel will reveal. So this is just a bit about the forward contracts.